Yo, what's happening, Raider Nation? It's your boy Soto here, Raiders versus the world. So, few things I wanted to get into, and I'll wait for a couple people to jump on. If you jump on, say hi. I want to make sure I get everyone in here and show the love. So, why am I doing this? Why am I doing a live? I don't normally go live, but we didn't have a lot going on over the weekend. Not too much, hustle and bustle around the Raiders. So I made my tribute to Carroll Davis, RIP, yesterday. But yesterday evening, I didn't make a video for today because there was really nothing going on. I don't want to force things. I don't want to make content just for the sake of making content. I want to have something to talk about. Uh, and a couple of things floated around in Raiderdom, in Raider Nation, and I thought to myself, you know what? Let me hop on because I promised myself that I would do my very best to give Raider Nation something every single day. Before we get moving, I want to make sure everyone, please, if you haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe to the video. It's an excellent way to support, and it's free. If you want to support a little bit more, it's $5. It's the Shield Society. You get the videos right away. You also get a watch party with me. Now, look, the watch party is me watching the game with you guys. I can't show the game. Okay, I will get banned, and I can't do that. Uh, Place. I'm watching the game along with you guys, and you get my analysis. I also give you guys the opportunity to hop on the video and give your own analysis and your own takes live during the games. Again, it's a Shield Society. It's $5 a month membership. Also, look in the description in my link tree in the description of this video. You get a link tree to all my socials, all my sponsors. If you decide to link up with one of my sponsors, make sure to use the promo code SOTO, my last name SOTO. I'll give you a couple of freebies. All right, let's get moving. First off, I want to talk about Carroll Davis. Carroll Davis probably is one of the most behind the scenes good people. The more I talk about her just philanthropy, her donations, her just giving back to communities, not only in the Bay Area, not only in LA, but also in Vegas. She's one of the spearheads behind a lot of programs and a lot of things the Raiders are doing or have done in those communities. And I think she's going to be sorely missed. She was a settling and a calming influence for both Al Davis and Mark Davis. We'll see what happens now that she has passed. Um, I made a video about her, and there wasn't really a lot. She wasn't really a public person, but she did induct Tom Flores, or as she said, Flores, into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And she had to be special if Tom Flores picked her to induct him into the Hall of Fame. So check out that video if you haven't already. It's a pretty cool little video. But yeah, the Queen of Raider Nation, RIP. A couple of things I want to talk about. First, there was an article where a lot of these people, a lot of these guys out there in the media, not only just Raider media, but media in general, are starting to hop on the Soto train. Okay. And they're starting to jump on and they're starting to really get on board with what I've been saying about what we need to do offensively. And Lincoln Kennedy is the most recent to jump on. And I'm paraphrasing, of course. He said that he being pronouns, pal. Chip Kelly, as offensive coordinator, needs to put his ego aside, needs to put his pride aside, and he needs to not necessarily admit, God damn it, fumble, we're back. Not necessarily admit that he was wrong per se, but he does need to acknowledge that what he felt this offense was going to be is not that. And he needs to change, not a wholesale change, but he needs to adjust what he's doing offensively because what the team he has right now isn't the team that he envisioned going in to the season. It's something very important that Lincoln Kennedy is talking about because the best coaches adjust their scheme to their talent, to their players, to their strengths. Now, There's only so much you can do. Okay. And I acknowledge this. You can't adjust your system so much then it stops being your system and it stops kind of fitting into the wheelhouse of how mentally you think and how you construct things. I get that. Trust me, I understand that. I said the same thing with Patrick Graham as far as adjusting his system, but not changing it so much that it stops being your system. And then now you're calling games and you're calling plays that really aren't in your wheelhouse of how you think schematically and theoretically about defense or offense. You have to keep it in the confines of what you want to have and what you want to do offensively, in this case for Chip Kelly, but you have to adjust to your personnel. And that's something that I don't think we're doing. One thing that I suggested a couple days ago in my video on how to fix what's going on with Raider Nation is run a lot more two running back sets, a lot more motion, and really adjust what the defense sees. The problem with running Geno Smith out of a shotgun and without motion is the defense gets to key in on certain things that these route concepts do. The problem with that is I don't know that we have the technical prowess in the receiving core beyond Jakobi Meyers to get open one-on-one. We need to use a little bit of window dressing offensively. And it's not to say that we're not as good. It's just we're not as technical right now because we're relying on a lot of young players. Let's be honest. Trey Tucker is just starting to run into form, but even he's not that consistent yet with his route running. Then you have Jack Besh, who's coming on, and you have Dante Thornton, who's taking a little bit longer than I think people thought. But you have to give these guys ability to make plays where they're their best. And I don't think lining up one-on-one with a bunch of these corners in the NFL and saying, okay, let your technique get you open, I don't think that's what's really at our best right now. We need to make sure that we use movement pre-snap. We need to use different alignments, and we need to run the same action multiple times. We need to run the same motion multiple times, but run different plays through that. I think that the two running back set would be really well because you're able to attack both sides of the field evenly, and you get that little split second of the defense has to play you honestly by both sides. It breaks some tendencies, and it also allows us to be a little bit more multiple out of the backfield. That's just what I think, okay? But I think Lincoln Kennedy feels the same way. Maybe not exactly what to do, but that we need to do something different. And hopefully Chip Kelly takes that to heart because ultimately we need to make sure that what we're doing is giving us an advantage. I think that too often our offense doesn't give us an advantage. We're just going out there playing mano-a-mano with these defenses. And number one, I think Chip Kelly is a little bit predictable because he does have, Brock Bowers was out and even when he was in, he was compromised. So you can't use Brock Bowers to shift the defense and change the defense of what they want to do. The defense is not afraid of any one person on our offense, except maybe for Ashton Jeanty if you get him out in space. I don't think they fear anybody else on the football field offensively for the Raiders, including Geno Smith. So they're able to sit back and just key in on what they see and not have to worry about a guy making a play outside of the offense. When that happens is you get games like with the Chiefs. The Chiefs are, okay, we know what we're to expect on these different formations. This is what they want to do. Let's just play back and run forward and tackle. And when you're good at that and you're sound defensively and you don't fall for window dressing and you don't fall for route concepts, you're not going to move the ball. And unfortunately, that's what happened with us against the Chiefs. And it should be a wake-up call for Chip Kelly. Now, I'm not putting it all 100% on Chip Kelly. I think the issues with our offense run multiple layers. The first layer is I feel that we didn't do enough in the offseason to fortify the offense as far as pass catchers go. I think we put a little bit too much into Brock Bowers being a savior. Now, Brock Bowers is damn good. He's one of the best at his position. He's one of the best pass catchers overall. But you have to plan for injury. And unfortunately, Jakobi Meyers just isn't a number one type receiver that can take over games for you consistently. So when you have a compromised Brock Bowers or an outright not playing Brock Bowers for almost 2 months, yeah, you're going to have an issue with getting people open. I think not enough was done to this offense to fortify against that. Trey Tucker is still a work in progress. Jakobi Meyers is pretty much who he's going to be, but again, he's not a number one, and you're relying very heavily on two rookie wide receivers. On top of that, you miss Michael Mayer for a little bit and stuff like that, and maybe Ian Thomas has shown that some of the things that he showed in like training camp and preseason really aren't translating to the regular season. So it's been pretty rough offensively, especially that's the first part. I don't think in the front office did enough to fortify our targets for Geno Smith. Okay, there's that. The second layer coaching. Again, we talk about Chip Kelly, and again, for all you history buffs out there, Chip Kelly is not adjusting his offense for what he has. I think he has his system and he's calling different plays in that system, but he's really not changing what he's doing, and he's not highlighting things that are going to help the team be better. And it shows because, I mean, look, against the Titans, we scored 20 points, but one of those drives was 3 yards. All right. So realistically, we scored 13 points against the Titans. 13 there, 0 against the Chiefs. We scored what? 6 against the Colts, 9 against the Chargers. We're not scoring a lot of points here, guys. And it's not all our targets. It's the same reads, it's the same concepts over and over again where defenses can key in on that and they're easy to defend. Predictable is a word that I just think predictable. Lack of creativity, being stubborn, maybe ego problems, all these things coming together, and it makes us predictable. That's an issue that I think we need to take a look at. So that's the coaching side. On the player side, Geno Smith has been abysmal. He is taking too long to get through his reads. When he is getting through his reads, he's trying to force throws. Now, look, this all works together. So, yes, Geno Smith is making a lot more dangerous throws into tight windows, but a lot of times he has to because these guys just aren't getting open. They're not getting separation. So is it all on Geno Smith? No, it's not. It's everything. It's everything combined. So let's start again. We didn't have enough talent as far as route runners and guys that can get open on their own. We didn't go out and get that. Secondly, there's injuries. On top of that, there's coaching that's been stubborn and predictable. Then you have Geno Smith kind of put in a position where he has to put the ball in danger, and it's been picked a lot. Now, in order for him to not put the ball in danger, it makes the offense pretty anemic because he really can't force the ball down the field like he wants to. On top of that, the offensive line has been an issue. We are one of the worst offensive lines, pass blocking and run blocking. Ashton Jeanty, I believe the stat was ridiculous. He averages 0.8 yards before contact. And he has, I believe the number was 57% of his runs, he gets hit in the backfield. Yeah, I understand we're frustrated, but here's the thing. In order to fix what's broken, we need to identify what's broken and why it's broken. Now, here's one thing that could be, it's a rumor out there, it hasn't been done yet, but if you saw the thumbnail, there are hints out there that Tyler Lockett may sign with the Raiders. Tyler Lockett is a receiver that can get open. He's a guy that needs to get open, that can get open on his own. And Pete Carroll trusts him, and he has a camaraderie with Geno Smith. Now, on top of that, if that were to happen, there's 2 scenarios. Number one, we bring in Tyler Lockett, and there's another rumor out there that Jakobi Meyers is on the trade block, and what is being said is the Raiders are looking for a day 2 pick. Now, a day 2 pick means a 3rd round pick. They're not going to get a 2nd round pick for Jakobi Meyers. It's not going to happen. But I think it's smart to hold out for a 3rd round pick because If Jakobi Meyers signs elsewhere after the season, you're going to get a fourth round compensatory pick. So why trade him for something that you would have get? Now I understand that if you trade for a fourth round pick, it's earlier in the round, but that's value wise, it's very, very minuscule, the difference. So I would hold out for a third round pick for Jakobi Meyers. If I can get it, I would hold out for it for sure. Okay. If we have them both together, now you have two guys that can get open. Okay. And you have another guy that's maybe a little bit more bought in to to Pete Carroll and his system and his way of doing things. Should this have happened in the offseason, I think we're all thinking that Tyler Lockett was a lock, quote unquote lock, to get signed. Unfortunately, I don't know why he wasn't. He went to the Titans. They were kind of floundering. Okay, let's say he is signed with the Raiders and we keep Jakobi Meyers. That's something that we can look at, and also we can maybe get more favorable matchups to the young receivers out there to be able to help with the offense. Who knows? Okay. If we let Jakobi Meyers go, we're pretty much in the same spot we are right now. Unless Brock Bowers come back and he's Brock Bowers of old. If that happens, then it could be Jakobi Meyers, Tyler Lockett, both. It doesn't matter. Our offense is going to be better. On top of that, the run game seems to be okay as long as we can throw the ball. If we're not throwing the ball effectively, the run game is just awful because we're not able to get any separation from receivers, and everyone just clamps down and loads the box, and we're screwed. So it is all about the couple things that we talked about. Personnel, number one, getting Tyler Lockett, whether you keep or let Jakobi Meyers go, it's a good thing. If you keep Jakobi Meyers, the offense will be better. That'll help the offense because it'll help uh, ease a little bit of the umbrella of the tension in the secondary and allow for fewer loaded boxes, which is going to help the run game. It's going to help the offense all the way around. But Chip Kelly does need to adjust his offensive scheme and his offensive game plan. If he doesn't do that, it's only going to be a negligible win. All right. All right. Let's see what we got going here in the chats. True Raider. Let's see here what we got going here. Samar. Yeah, man, I get it. I'm disgusted right now too. I think having that last game against the Chiefs before the bye was like a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing in the fact that it allows the coaching staff extra time to really zero in on what the problems are with this team. The curse is it keeps that bad taste in our mouth for 2 weeks in a row. But yeah, man, I hear you. I hear you. I get what you're saying, brother. All right. I'm sorry. It's making me do an extra step to show your comments. Leroy the Master, bad move. Pete is just burning Mark's money. I'm assuming you say by the Tyler Lockett potential signing. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Uh, it won't help us with the tank. I mean, it's very difficult to tell a team to tank. The issue is if we do indeed trade Jakobi Meyers and do not replace him with anybody, we're going to be completely awful. We're going to get a locker room full of checked out players. Now, you can't have that because if you do that, you have to get rid of everybody on the team, even the guys you want to keep and can build with, because you're basically you're going out there and you're putting your body on the line, and we don't want you guys to win. We can't do that. Just get that out of your head. We can't do that. Okay, we can't do that. I understand that may be the best thing to do as far as like what you want, but you're not out there putting your body on the line. You can't tell these grown men who have families and all this stuff to go out there and put their body on the line when we don't expect them to win. It's just you can't do that, guys. You can't do that. Let's see here. All right, another one. Leroy the Master. It's the line coach more than the players. I think it's a little bit of both. I think that we're having some issues technique wise, and that can lead to both the coach and the player. Um, but yeah, I think that our offensive line play does need to get a lot better, and our offensive line coaching definitely needs to get better for sure. What do we got going here? Jay Harris. We will get a comp pick for Jakobi if we don't trade him and he leaves. Yeah, exactly right. The comp pick's going to be like a fourth round pick. That's why we want to trade him for a third, because why would you trade him for something that you would already get, but you don't have him for the season? You're better off trying to shoot for something a little bit higher. If not, just keep him around for the season, let him walk at the end of the year, and get your fourth round comp pick. Exactly right. All right. Chuba Hubbard, real trade to the Raiders. Is that what I'm hearing? I heard those rumblings too. I don't know that that's necessarily going to move the needle forward for us right now. Because look, we have Ashton Jeanty, and we're not running the ball with Ashton Jeanty. What's Chuba Hubbard going to do for us? I think Ashton Jeanty is better than Chuba Hubbard. But I mean, you got two good running backs. But if Chip Kelly doesn't want to run the ball, what does that matter? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I'm not saying it is, but I don't know how much that moves the needle offensively. We need pass catchers. We need guys that can get open. Tyler could be a good mentor. Exactly right. Tyler could be a good mentor. Not at all. I'm saying that Jakobi and Lockett together. Lockett doesn't necessarily have to play in the slot. He was an outside receiver quite a bit. Jackson Smith and Jigba was a slot a lot, and so was DK Metcalf for that matter. But he could play outside and he could play in the slot, as can Jakobi Meyers. So they could definitely play together. I think they're very similar in their skill set. And I think they're both very good route runners. So putting them together is definitely going to, having them together on the same team would definitely be an upgrade to what we have right now. Not because Tyler Lockett is some crazy good, excellent elite player or anything, but he has good route running and he's savvy. He knows how to get open. So he's going to be a reliable target for Geno Smith, and Geno Smith knows where he's going to be when he runs his routes, and Geno Smith knows that Tyler Lockett is going to run the right route. So yeah, they can work together if it ends up that way. Alfredo, Raider Nation for life. Sup, Soto? Why do you think Chip Kelly doesn't want to run the ball? Alfredo, I feel like Chip Kelly has an offense that he feels he can create more running lanes with the short passing attack, that he can attack the defense with short passes and motions and things like that to help open up the lanes for running. And I think he's really grinding that and pushing that in. Unfortunately, it's not working. Now, I understand what he's trying to do. I'm not saying he's right or wrong. What I'm saying is it's not working right now. So we have seen teams in the past, like think of like the old Mike Holmgren teams when he was with Green Bay, and also when he was with Seattle. He had good running attacks, right? But he would throw the ball to set up the run. Right now, I think that's what he's trying to do. But the problem is, because the receivers aren't getting open consistently, the defense is able to pack it in and really keep a tight and cover up those lanes really tight, so they can take care of the pass without committing too much to the secondary and still packing the run lanes at the same time. That's what happens when you don't have guys that can get open. So I understand what Chip Kelly is trying to do, but I think, to my point, and to echoed by Lincoln Kennedy, is that you have to be able to adjust to what's not working. Hopefully, these 2 weeks has given Chip Kelly the opportunity, and also, honestly, Pete Carroll's like, dude, he needs to tell him and take more charge. Like, you need to change this shit, because honestly, I gave you guys in my post game to the Chiefs game. I went through the play calls, and there was in our second drive, we went 3 and out, but the sack out on the third down play, there was a penalty that gave the Raiders a automatic first down, and it was only 7-0 at that time. And then we passed the ball with the fresh set of downs 3 consecutive times. So there was opportunity to run the ball more. It's just Chip Kelly is choosing not to do it. We need to figure out a way to do it. Regardless if we're getting stuffed or not, we still have to commit to the run. All righty. Herman Munster, what's up, buddy? Yeah, man, I agree. There's really no excuse for not sticking to a strong running game and working off of that. That's pretty much with Brock Bowers out, the best player on your offense is Ashton Jeanty. Not getting him the ball more is criminal in my views. Chase Zimmerella or Chase Zimmer LA, they traded Jakobi. They're fielding phone calls for Jakobi Meyers. Jakobi Meyers, I wouldn't say he's on the trade block. I would say the team is open to listening, but they're telling him, I need a day 2 pick to start these conversations. So that's what's being told right now. Lockett whack. What the fuck? No, he's not whack. It feels like we are playing with half of a playbook. Honestly, that's not too far off from the truth, Jay Harris. Here's the reason why. A bulk of the offense and a bulk of the playbook revolved around a healthy Brock Bowers. Unfortunately, we haven't had a healthy Brock Bowers since the third quarter of the first game. So a lot of those plays and a lot of those schemes don't work when you don't have that Brock Bowers getting open. That's a huge issue. And that's an issue that really wasn't planned for in the offseason. You have to be able to plan for guys to leave and go out. Now, there's certain guys that you just can't replace. Brock Bowers probably being one of them. But I think they were putting too much on the plate of Geno Smith, given the fact that he came from Seattle when he had Lockett, Jackson Smith and Jigba, and DK Metcalf getting open consistently, where he's going where he has Jakobi Meyers, no Brock Bowers, and a bunch of rookies and an inconsistent Trey Tucker trying to get open. It's not easy. It's not a cop-out. It's not a cope. None of that stuff. It's just reality. We need Brock Bowers healthy to make this offense run. And unfortunately, he hasn't been healthy. All right, guys, that's my time for today. I gave you guys a half hour today. I wanted to give you guys something. Unfortunately, I got some things going on and I couldn't get a video out for today, but I wanted to hop on live and let you guys know that I'm thinking about you. I'm thinking about Raider Nation. I want to make sure I do my very best to give you guys content every single day. I'll see you with the video again tomorrow, but I'll make sure everyone please to like, comment, and subscribe to this video. It's an excellent way to support. It's absolutely free, and it's the bare minimum you do to support the channel. Besides doing nothing, just watch the video. I do appreciate you watching the video. If you want us to support a little bit more, we got a Shield Society membership. It's $5 a month, and you get the videos right away. You get a live watch party with me. Again, I can't show the games because I will get popped and kicked off, but you also can give your takes and be on the video yourself if you choose to. All right, guys, for all that, I need you to do one thing for me, okay? Tell your friends, tell your haters, tell your mamas, tell everybody. Raiders versus the world is the greatest thing going in Raider Nation today. All right, guys, that's my time. Till next time, everybody. Peace.